Hello everyone. In this lecture I am going to discuss about helical torsion springs or mechanical springs from the course DMO1. See a small problem. This is a previously asked problem. A closed coiled helical compression spring of 12 active coils has a spring stiffness of K. It is cut into two springs having 5 and 7 turns. Determine the spring stiffness of resulting springs. So the given data is N is equal to 12. Before cutting the spring, the number of coils are 12. After cutting, it has become 5 and 7, and 1 and 2 into 2 springs. You know the basic formula for deflection of the spring, delta is equal to 8W d cube n by GD power 4. Okay, or if you write it in, you have stiffness, right? W by delta. Take this GD power 4 that side and take delta this side. W by delta is equal to GD power 4 divided by 8 d cube n. Okay, since G, D and D are constant for both these before cutting and after cutting, we are taking it as X, okay, constant. Then we have this total term will become X, then there will be N, right? X by N, okay. W by delta is stiffness K, that is equal to X by N, and X is equal to K into N, okay. This K value is, this N value is already given, that is 12, okay, 12K. Therefore this constant X is equal to 12K. The spring is cut into two springs, N1 is equal to 5, N2 is equal to 7. So we are going to find out the stiffness of the two springs, 5 turns and 7 turns. Stiffness is equal to, we have already found out, W by delta is equal to X by N. See, this is, since this is K1, X by N1, that is equal to, we have X is equal to 12K by 5, which will be 2.4K, and K2 is X by N2, which will be 12K by 7, that is equal to 1.7K. This is a simple problem. This may be given as half essay in exams by changing this number of coils. Now see the present topic, helical torsion springs. The helical torsion spring may be made from round, rectangular or square wire. These are wound in a similar manner as helical compression or tension springs, but the ends are shaped to transmit torque. The helical torsion spring will look like this. These are wound similar to those of compression springs, but this end, you see, right, this shape will take the torque, okay, torsion, the total spring will take the torque. The primary stress in helical torsion springs is bending stress, whereas in compression or tension springs, the stresses are torsional shear stresses. See, these helical torsional springs, the application, the working will be based on the bending, okay. Because of bending, these helical torsional springs are acting, okay, because it will bend and it will return back, okay, in this position. This is bending and returning back, okay, bending moment is caused. But in case of compression or torsional springs, we know that there will be a torsion acting on the springs, okay, which I have discussed in the introduction class. The helical torsion springs are widely used for transmitting small torques, as in door hinges, brush holders in electrical motors, automobile starters. These are mostly used in electrical instruments and also in door hinges. A little consideration will slow the radius of curvature of the coils changes when the twisting moment is applied to the spring. If we apply any twisting moment, the radius of curvature will increase, okay. If this come here, the radius of curvature will increase. Thus the wire is under pure bending, that the wire is acting like a bending. Okay, according to AM Wall, the bending stress in a helical torsional spring made of round wire is. So now we are finding out the stresses and deflection in round wires, okay, by using helical torsional spring made of round wire. See, stress is equal to 32 m by pi d cube. We know this relation, but wall stress factor K will be added to this, and also m is equal to load into the distance from the load, okay, W into Y. This W into Y will be the load, and the wall stress factor is 4c square minus c minus 1 by 4c square minus 4c, and c is the spring index here, m is bending moment, W into Y. W is the load acting on the spring, Y is the distance of load from the spring axis, and d is equal to diameter of the spring wire, small d. Now the angle of twist theta is equal to, we know that m by a is equal to E by R, bending equation. Now R is equal to EI by M, okay, from this relation, and R is also known as, R can also be written as L by theta, okay, radius of curvature can also be written as L by theta. Therefore L by theta is equal to EI by M, or theta is equal to ML by EI. Theta is equal to ML by EI. Therefore theta is equal to ML by EI. Here the L is the length of the total length of the spring, pi d into n, and I is equal to pi d power 4 by 64, since it is a circular cross section. Okay, length of the wire pi d n, and Young's modulus, E is Young's modulus, I is equal to moment of inertia pi d power 4 by 64, and D is the diameter of the spring, and n is the number of turns. And the deflection is theta into y. You have already found out the theta. If you multiply it with y, you will get the deflection for this round, for this bending stress and deflection for this made of round wire. When the spring is made of rectangular wire having width b and thickness t, then sigma b is equal to m by tb square by 6, okay, and this m is equal to w into y, and this k will be 3c square minus c minus 0.8 by 3c square minus 3c. In this case, rectangular wire case, the wall stress factor will be 3c square minus c minus 0.8 by 3c square minus 3c. And angular deflection is, if you use the, similarly, if you want to find by using these relations, you get theta is equal to 12 pi m dn by ETB cube, and delta is equal to theta into y, 12 pi m dn by ETB cube into y. Okay, if you take that square wire instead of rectangular wire, you get this t will also become b. That means here denominator will become b cube, 6m by b cube, 6wy by b cube, and the theta will be 12 pi m dn by EB power 4, and delta is equal to 12 pi m dn by EB power 4 into y. Okay, here if you use this helical torsion springs, a clearance must be provided, since if the load is acted here, the diameter will become decrease. Okay, this is placed over a mandrel, and for that compensation, the diameter, a clearance must be provided between the spring wire and the mandrel. Okay, and there is also small clearance should be provided between the coils. A small clearance should be provided between the coils in order to compensate the friction, sliding friction. Let's see a problem on helical torsion springs. A helical torsion spring of mean diameter 60 mm is made of a round wire of 6 mm diameter. If a torque of 6 Nm is applied on the spring, find the bending stress induced and the angular deflection of the spring in degrees. The spring index is 10 and the modulus of elasticity for the spring material is 200 kN per mm square. The number of effective turns may be taken as 5.5. This is the given data. We need to find out the bending stress induced and the angular deflection in the spring. in degrees. Let's see the given data. Capital D is equal to 60 mm, diameter of spring, and diameter of the wire is 6 mm. Bending moment M is equal to 6 Newton meter, that is 6000 Newton mm, and spring index C is equal to 10. Young's modulus C is equal to 200 kilonewton per mm square, which is 200 into 10 cube Newton per mm square, and the number of turns is 5.5. Okay, by using this you need to find out the bending stress induced. You know that the wall stress factor is K is equal to force square minus C minus 1 by force square minus 4C. By substituting the C value here, you will get the wall square stress factor as 1.08, and we know that sigma B is equal to 32 MPa by d cube into K. If you substitute this K here and M value here and D value here, we will get the bending stress sigma B 305.5 Newton per mm square, or 305.5 megapascal. And the angular deflection of the spring will be theta is equal to 64 m dn by ed power 4. Okay, substitute all the values from the given data, you will get theta as 0.49 in radians. Okay, if you use this equation, you will get theta in radians. If you want to change in degrees into 180 by pi, you need to do, then you will get 28 degrees. This is a problem from helical springs, helical torsional springs. Let's see flat spiral spring. A flat spiral spring is a long thin strip of elastic material wound like a spiral. See, it is a flat thin strip which is wound in this form. This is generally used in watches. Okay, here the energy is stored in the form of spirals. If load is applied here, the number of spirals will increase, since it will get closure, and the number of spirals will increase if the load is applied here. Okay, these springs are frequently used in watches and gramophones, etc. When the outer or inner end of this type of spring is wound in such a way that there is a tendency to in the increase of number of spirals of the spring, the strain energy is stored into its spirals. If load is applied here, the number of spirals will increase, since it will get closure, the number of spirals will increase. Okay, the diameter will decrease. Then the energy is stored in the form of spirals. Okay, this energy is utilized in any useful way while the spirals open out slowly. When we release if it is tightly closed, tightly packed, then the energy is stored in it. If you let this and open, then the spirals will open wide. In that case, we get the energy. Okay, usually the inner end of the spring is clamped to an arbor, while the outer end may be pinned or clamped. See, this inner end is clamped to an arbor, and the outer end is clamped to a pinned or clamped to the required component. Since the radius of curvature of every spiral decreases when the spring is wound up, therefore the material of the spring is in a state of pure bending. Here also, the similar case, the bending phenomena will take place in this also. Now see, W is the force applied on the outer end A. Here the force applied at the outer end A at a distance of y from the center or the arbor. And y is the distance from center of gravity of the spring. Length of the strip is L, small l. Width of the strip is B. Thickness of the strip is T. I is moment of inertia of the spring, Bt cube by 12. Since it is having some width and thickness, width B and thickness 3. And section modulus is I by y, Bt cube by 12 by D by 2. Sorry, here it is T by 2, thickness by 2, which will be Bt square by 6. When the end A of the spring is pulled up by a force W, then the bending moment on the spring at the distance y from the line of action of W is given by M is equal to W into y. Moment is equal to load into distance. This is load and the distance is y. This will cause a moment, okay, W into y about this point center. And if you see, the maximum load is caused about this point, okay, at B. Okay, this is the maximum distance. The distance will become y plus y. Okay, if you take about B point, then the load will be maximum W into this total distance y plus y2y. That will be the maximum load. That is the maximum condition. The greatest bending moment occurs in the spring at B, which is at maximum distance from the application of W. Okay, then bending moment maximum will be W into 2y, 2W into y, which is 2 times of bending moment M, 2 times of M. Maximum bending stress induced in the spring material. Stress sigma B is equal to M by Z. Okay, where M max is equal to 2W into y and Z will be BT square by 6. Okay, from this we get 12WY by BT square or 12M by BT square. Now see that assuming that both ends of the spring are clamped, the angular deflection of the spring is given by theta is equal to ML by EI. We know that I is equal to BT cube by 12. Okay, so substitute I is equal to BT2 cube by 12, you get this relation theta. And the deflection delta is equal to theta into y. Theta you find out into y, Mi by EI. Okay, and if you substitute I is equal to BT cube by 12 here, you get 12MLy by EBT cube. Okay, and we also know that stress is equal to 12WY by BT square. We have already found out 12WY by BT square. So write this relation in terms of stress, sigma B into YL by ET. Okay, and the strain energy stored in the spring will be half M into theta. Okay, if you draw a graph between M and theta, bending moment and deflection, you will get the area under the triangle. It will form a triangle. The curve will be like a triangle. Okay, the area under the triangle will be half base into height, right? The area will be the strain energy stored or energy. Okay, since it is half M into theta, half M into theta will be ML by EI, ML by EI. Okay, half M into ML by EI, half M square L by EI, and half into M will be W into Y. So W square into Y square into L by E into I will be BT cube by 12. You know that I is equal to BT cube by 12. And if you simplify this, you will get 6W square Y square L by E BT cube. Okay, then we want to return this in terms of volume of the spring. The volume of the spring is BTL. For that you need to multiply with 24 BT by 24 BT. You will get this 144W square into Y square by EB square T power 4 into BTL by 24. Okay, if you take this BTL out, then you will get sigma B square by 24 E. That means sigma B, if you write this in terms of sigma B, 12WY by BT square, in terms of sigma B you will get this relation. Okay, sigma B square by 24 E into BTL in terms of volume of the spring. These are the main equations. Now see the problem. A spiral spring is made of flat strip 6 mm wide and 0.2 mm thick. The length of the strip is 2.5 meters. Assuming the maximum stress of 800 MPa to occur at the point of greatest bending moment, calculate the bending moment, the number of turns to wind up the spring, and the strain energy stored in the spring. Take E is equal to 200 kN per mm square. First, let's see the given data. This is the width of the spring. B is equal to 6 mm and thickness is 0.25 mm and length is 2.5 meters, which will be 2500 mm, and the maximum stress tau is equal to 800 MPa, which is 800 Newton per mm square. Here we need to calculate the bending moment and the number of turns to wind up the spring and strain energy stored. These three you need to find out. And E is given 200 kN per mm square, which will be 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. So see the bending moment in the spring. Let M is equal to bending moment in the spring. We know the relation sigma B is equal to m by bt square by 12, and stress is already given 800, and B and T values are given 6, 0.25. From this you get 800 is equal to 32 m, and m is equal to 800 by 32, which is 25 Newton mm. Okay. Next you need to find out number of turns. First, for that you need to find out angular deflection. Theta is equal to 12 ml by EBT cube. If you substitute all the values, you will get 40 radians. You need to convert this radians into number of turns by multiplying by dividing with 2 pi. Okay, since one turn of the spring is equal to 2 pi, therefore number of turns to wind up the spring is 40 by 2 pi, which will give you 6.36 turns. Okay, this is the number of turns you need to. Strain energy stored in the spring. We know that half m into theta. We have already find out m and theta. If you simply multiply these two, 25 Newton mm and 40 radians, you will get 480 Newton mm. Here you have to multiply radians. Okay, 24 into 40, you get 480 Newton mm. For the reference purpose, you need to use machine designed by R.S. Kurmi. Thank you.